Okay, now we're going to go to congressional candidates. Mr. Cramer, could you come up and talk for us, please?
Good evening. Thanks for having me out. People have been asking me, Robert, why would you as a bridge contractor, why in the world would you want to run for Congress? But I tell them the answer is very simple. I want to build the biggest bridge ever that's connecting reality to Washington, D.C. And it's a big bridge. I'm not sure if in the history of our country we've ever had such a disconnect between what our government's doing there in D.C. and we the people here in Iowa. But what better way to bridge the gap than to send a bridge builder? Well, we've done a lot of construction around here, around Iowa, and in Council Bluffs, right now we're doing those steel flyover bridges. They're 80-29. We built the 24th Street Bridge, but we had nothing to do with the artwork. So,
but you screwed up there.
Yeah. But some of the bridges are nice to look at. But most of the time, you just want to drive over a bridge and make sure you get there safely. It's safe, strong, secure. So if we're going to build this bridge to DC, we've got to have some good foundations that we're building it on. And I won't go into the details, but one is I was really blessed to have parents that gave me a foundation of servant leadership. And they taught me faith in God. They also taught me how to walk that faith out by serving others. And so my wife and I wanted to pass that on to our kids, who are now young adults. And it was kind of cool to see them passing it on to foster kids that we had coming to our house over the last several years. Well, the next peer is a peer of business that I also learned from my dad. He came to Iowa, experienced the American dream, went to Iowa State, was able to build a bridge construction company and laid the foundation. And then we, the second generation, took over after I graduated from Iowa State in construction engineering. And so now we've grown that business up to a $50 to $60 million a year company. And we did it by building on that foundation he laid and by treating our employees right, making them owners. We have an employee stock ownership plan, so the employees own 40% of the company. And they realize at the end of the year, 40% of the profit is going into their retirement plan. So you got all the employees pointing in the same direction. It's amazing what you can get done, how efficient you can be. Well, contrast that with Washington, where people are going 180 degrees different directions, and they need somebody to come help get them rounded up and pointing in the right direction. The third peer is kind of to build on the foundation of the Constitution and a biblical worldview, because it's very important that you know what I believe. But it's even more important that you know why I believe what I believe, so then you can trust your congressman and what decisions they'll make in the future, that they'll do the right thing. Well, if you're going to build a bridge, you got to have a blueprint. So our blueprint's pretty simple. We need a 5-year plan to balance the budget, start to reduce this crazy debt, and start to remove that fog of regulations that are keeping our businesses on the sidelines right now. They don't know what Obamacare is going to cost, so they're sitting on cash, sitting on the sidelines, not hiring, just waiting it out. So we need to get to Washington and be able to remove that fog so they can clearly see a brighter future and start hiring again, which will help everybody, from the person looking for a job to the person looking for a better one to everyone else getting our wages to start growing again. Well, I'm proud to say I'm not a career politician, but I'm a conservative, a family guy, and a business guy. And this time we don't have to choose between the business guy and the conservative. I'm also the social conservative that'll fight for our values, and we can do both. So I really appreciate your vote, and even be more honored if you join our team. So thank you very much.
Thank you.